Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another special episode of Corporate Crash Course. I am Cody, and I will not be a GM tonight because we're not actually playing anything. Because, I don't know, I'm retired and busy. So we're going to do this instead because we haven't done a check-in in almost 2 years based on our last look. So... figured it's kind of about time for that. I'm joined, as always, by, 3 of my 4 friends tonight. Chris is doing something more important, probably. So instead I have Nick and Mike and Zoe. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing well.
Good.
Excited for my overwhelmingly positive performance review.
Yes.
Me too.
Are we legit doing this? Do you guys actually want me to give you feedback on your performance?
Oh, please do.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Shouldn't
Wait,
have
you
also-
weren't prepared
That was a
with
mistake.
our evaluations?
I'm so unprepared.
Wow.
So
This will be going down in your performance review, Cody?
okay. Then we'll start with Zoe. Zoe, you
Preparedness.
get a meets expectations. Nick and Mike, you both get an exceeds expectations. I will not be taking
Oh.
questions.
Let me get HR on the phone.
You know what, Zoe? It's just because the expectations for you are always so high.
This
That
isn't a
you're-
good
you're
look,
meeting them.
Cody.
I don't know. For
Being
Zoe,
the
I
only way I'm in
expect
here.
chaos incarnate, and she meets
What?
those expectations.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm getting asked what does Chris get for missing the meeting? He gets fired. That's the way this works. He missed the performance review.
I believe he got fired for the day last time he missed one, too.
Probably. That's okay. We'll just fire the current incarnation of Chris and unfreeze the next one out of the
That's
the
why
basement.
we had those clones made.
I think he's on clone 3, so we've still got a few more.
Yeah, he's got time. It's no big deal.
But I do have something to report on that note about Chris's behavior. Remind me to tell you later.
Okay. Guys, we're not playing Paranoia right now. You don't have to do this.
Computer, I'd like to...
We've slipped into this as our default. Oh no. So yes. So like we were saying, it's been a little over 2 years, or almost 2 years, sorry, since we've done our last, what we call our performance review meetings, just to chat about stuff we've played, kind of reminisce about stuff we've liked, stuff we haven't liked. Sometimes we bring questions. I don't know if anybody has any questions tonight that they want to ask the group. But I'm sure we'll also think of some as we kind of go. So we were just reviewing the list since our last performance review meeting. We have played, I don't have the number, but we finished up our Achtung Cthulhu game. We played Delta Green, we played Mothership, we played Vaesen, we played the Ghostbusters RPG, Mission Impossible, Ultraviolet Grasslands, Unburied, more Mothership, more Mission Impossible. We played some one-shots from Rowan, Rook, and Deckard, which have always been fun. Hostile Work Environment in particular. We played Root, we played Paranoia, and we played Blightfall. And then Wild Sea.
I think...
Didn't we have
Yeah.
Forewarned in there as well?
Sorry?
No, that's not right. There was another one we did.
Oh, Forsaken? Did I
Forsaken,
skip
that's
that?
it. Did you mention it?
Yeah.
Did you
I
say
didn't hear it.
Ghostbusters?
Probably... I might not have said it, but I know it's on here. Yeah, no, there it is. Sorry, I missed saying that. My apologies. Kyle's not watching this, but I'll apologize to them later.
Just want to make sure I wasn't misremembering. I don't know. Perhaps
No,
I
that's
dreamed
totally
some
fair.
of the games we played. You never know.
I don't know. It's been insane. Because when I hear that list, when I say that out loud, I'm like subsequently like, that seems like so many things, but also doesn't seem like that many things. When you consider that for some of those, we played upwards of 8 sessions. Like Vaesen, The first Mothership's campaign, or the first Mothership sessions were 8 sessions long. Some of them were 1, some of them were 2 otherwise. But we kind of average around like 4 per game. So that feels kind of nuts.
Well, we can get through in 2 years.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any initial impressions on the list or other thoughts?
I mean, my first thought is we really should have done this earlier because it's been a while for some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to step through, or do you want to talk about anything in particular?
Why don't we go through them?
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, starting from back at the beginning with this one then. Achtung Cthulhu. We played the Assault on the Führer train module. We did 4 episodes of it. Does anybody even remember our reactions to playing that game?
We lost in the end, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you did.
We got absolutely destroyed.
We don't win many games, I don't think.
If we don't usually lose like we lost in Achtung Cthulhu. That one was a special level of loss.
Yes. I remember Nick was only in episode 1.
Yeah. Do I remember correctly, though, that game is set up more to be more deadly than some of the other games we play?
Yeah. Yes and no. So the things that I really remember from Achtung Cthulhu that was made it a lot more interesting was the momentum and the threat aspect of it.
Yeah.
So the fact that we had basically we had extra chips that you guys could cash in or that I could use to shift the balance of whatever we were doing was pretty neat. But it was very deadly. And I think I do remember you guys doing a good job up until the end of it, being fairly smart. Because I don't know why a memory is popping into my head of like the bridge, and you guys were split, and there was the Nazi post on the one side, and for some reason I remember Chris without his shoes.
I was going to say somebody had no shoes.
I think he put them down so he tried to make a path with them so he threw them to cause a distraction.
Yeah. And he led and somebody else, it was Nick or somebody else, led the Nazis like across the bridge, and they were chasing after the tracks, and then you guys like clambered back over, swam across the river or whatever to get to the rest of the crew.
Yep.
I do remember that. And there was
we were very
jumping
careful
on the train after that.
Until we were very careful until we got on the train.
Yep.
And then from that point on, we were like,
grenade.
We can do this. We'll gun them down. It'll be great.
Wait, now, at what point was I not there anymore?
I think it was
After
when we
the
got
first
on the
episode.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at what point did things go off the rails?
When we got on the... Oh, I see.
No. See, Nick, you're misremembering, because the train was on the rails, okay? That was the problem. They never got it off the rails.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. That's right, because we were going to
I was going to blow it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my explosive kit didn't come with explosives?
No, do you remember? We had a different
correct.
plan, but then the train was hovering.
Yep.
Yeah, we were going to blow up the tracks.
Yeah.
But then because it's a
derail.
floating train,
But it floated, so it
didn't matter.
Yeah.
So then we were going to blow up just the train itself.
Yeah. Oh, I think we did try that.
And we had to submit some angry letters to corporate.
Yep. Always. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your experience, Zoe.
They got my feedback. They got my 1-star review
I know.
over at Game Master Corp.
That one was neat. I don't know if I'd want to go back and try Achtung Cthulhu again. Maybe.
It was fun. It was difficult.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to play, fighting Nazi cultists?
True.
Yeah, it was interesting because that one.
We really thought we were going to take down those Nazis.
We did. Well, yeah. I think that was because didn't we lose in the end because the Nazi woman was like,
yeah,
oh, let's talk, and we were like, hell no, we're going to shoot you, and then she killed us all.
Yeah, you basically just.
Yeah.
You guys stalked through the train, got to her in the end, and she tried to talk to you guys about it, and you were just like, hell no, and then got
like,
the shit.
No, you're a Nazi. We're not
going
to
reason with Nazis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was our downfall. We didn't want to talk to the Nazis. We just wanted the Nazis gone.
Yes.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I think it did a good job with because it was similar but different enough from your Call of Cthulhu that it felt unique. I think one of the tricky parts of that one, which is always the case when you play pre-made characters in a pre-made story, is it can go either way. I think it went pretty well, but I don't know if I'd want to do it again. In terms of pre-built characters, I think I preferred the Alien one.
Yeah. Alien was really good.
Yeah.
I still remember really liking Alien.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to try the second edition soon, at some point.
Excellent. And now we have the difficult question: which is better, Alien or Mothership?
Well, we'll save that for when we get to Mothership.
Okay, so that was supposed to be a segue, Cody.
Slow your roll.
Well, no, because we're missing. We played Delta Green after that, and
he's going in chronological order.
Yeah, we need time to talk about Delta Green again. We're gonna forget the channel's favorite game, which we haven't touched in over a year.
Oh no, I love Delta Green.
Always fun, always a classic.
Yeah, that was our kind of second portion of when we were starting the Impossible Landscapes campaign, and then that didn't happen.
That was, I think that was the start of Zoe's love of arson, wasn't
it? Delta Green, probably.
Do you remember how we finished that?
What did I set on fire in Delta Green?
That particular adventure? Or investigation, I guess I should call it.
Well, that was the one that ended with you guys at the farmhouse, with the guy in the book and the crown, and then you left and turned around, and it was actually like a castle.
Was it that one? Okay, I thought it was the one before that where we had the night floors.
Oh no, that was the night floors. Before that, she burned the whole building down.
I do remember burning the whole hotel down or apartment building.
Yeah, and then years later we did the.
You are right. I did burn it down.
Okay, I'm not misremembering that too much. Other to say, Delta Green always a fun time. It's nice. It's kind of fun with that one because it's more of an investigation. So it's more about us looking for clues and hunting things, which is a very different vibe from most RPGs. In fact, I don't think there's another one that we've played that is kind of that investigation vibe.
Yeah. No.
There's some we could have played. We probably could have played that way, but we didn't.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I don't think I've ever encountered an RPG that works as well as Delta Green does for what it sets out to do.
Yeah.
Which is to be very investigative and weird.
And it does an excellent job.
I mean, we played it.
Too,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we played it. Mike, Zoe, and I played it for a year before this channel started.
That's a lot of fun.
Absolutely love it. I will play Delta Green, and I'm still playing Delta Green with another group on Sunday nights sometimes because it's just amazing.
Wait, he has secret Delta Green he's doing without us?
Of course. I have other friends, Zoe.
Whoa!
Wow! Oh my gosh! I don't. What the heck?
Sure you don't, of course.
I'm more worried about what's going to happen to us now that we know. I feel like, you can't just tell people you're playing Delta Green.
Why not? Because now, what, other people are going to expect that I'm going to play Delta Green with them?
Well, no, I just thought, we're not supposed to know about Delta Green.
Oh, yeah. You guys are already compromised. We're all already dead. Who cares?
Gonna get disappeared.
Just like Chris.
Just like,
exactly.
That would really happen to him.
Oh, no.
Matt, no, get out of chat. Don't talk about our secret Delta Green session. Don't do that. It's a secret for a reason. But yeah, we did that one, and then we played Mothership for the first time, which was we started another bug hunt. Yeah, I mean, Mothership was fantastic. Like,
yeah, it was really good. It's another one that's quite deadly. I mean, it's your space horror, your classic space horror, and does a really good job of it.
Yeah.
How many characters did everybody go through in another bug hunt? Actually, no, you guys, all of you made it through.
2.5. I had
2.5?
Yes, because my first character survived as the vessel, the surgeon of the crab god. And my second character lost her legs in the very first encounter that she went through.
Yes, but that was in our second module when we were playing Dead Planet.
Yes.
When we played another bug hunt.
Yes, I think in another bug hunt, everybody survived, except Nick's character, who was dying of radiation poisoning.
Yes, there was
I made it to the ship.
Yeah. And you had to have a new character because you couldn't get off the ship because of your condition. Not because you were dead.
Just because you were a dead man walking.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, he was not walking.
A dead man sleeping.
No. If I came out of the med pod, I would be dead.
Yeah.
But no, that was an excellent one.
Yeah, so we did.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's hard to say which was better, Mothership or Alien. Both did different things really well.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one to go back to, like if you looked at me and was like, I want to play space horror, which one are we going to play? My brain would immediately go to Mothership.
Yeah.
I think just because it's much more accessible.
It's also, I found Mothership had more mystery to it, in my opinion, because Alien, I feel like we know what's coming.
Yeah.
Whereas Mothership was like, who knows what's down there? And I was like, I don't know if we're getting off this planet.
That's very true. One thing I did really like about Alien, though, was the ending where Nick had a secret objective that was different than the rest of ours.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was a nice touch.
I like that.
The plot twist.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that could be put into the other ones as well, but the fact that was built into Alien was a nice touch.
Well, Alien, like, I don't want to say it comes across as more prescribed.
Well, it is. It's more narrative driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Mothership feels a bit more sandboxy, even with the written games. And I mean, that's a bit of a pro and con, right? Because there's always, for someone like me, where I'm like, I don't really care if my character dies. I want the whole story. And you're not meant to play Mothership, or at least as they kind of outline it. You're not really meant to play it that way, right? You're meant to be afraid and run away and just try and survive, as opposed to what you did, Mike, waltz into the den of the crab.
I shouldn't have survived that. I don't know how I did.
Because you placated
it's
yourself.
Questionable
so
if you did or not.
Yeah. So we had 4 episodes of that, and then we played Vaesen for 8 sessions. Before Christmas. And then we did... Sorry, guys. I need 1 second.
See, Vaesen was a lot of fun, but I, for the life of me, don't remember much about it. Despite how much we played. Like, I remember, I absolutely loved, it's too bad that Cody's not here, because I absolutely loved the adventure that he put together for us, where he took on the Wendigo. That was fantastic.
Because we had the house with the cook.
Yes, that's right.
And then, I believe it was Jacques. And then we went...
Oh, right, Jacques.
North. And there was that place where we were on the boat and you shot the little guy through the head.
Yep.
Between the rocks.
Yeah.
He blew his head right off.
So, Vaesen was, like, my first kind of foray into trying to design something and not just go off a pre-built module. For us. And because Vaesen is all about folklore, and I was kind of watching some more YouTube videos on like different types of Native American folklore, specifically, within Canada. So I wanted to put that in there because why the hell not? So yeah, it started with you guys getting to Canada and getting to Upper Canada at that point where your house was. And then getting sent north to deal with a spooky thing.
Yeah, that's the one where the mine went missing, and then we ended up with the Wendigo, with the guy who was eating people but didn't believe he was, and it was.
Yeah, that was a really cool adventure that you put together.
Yeah.
What I will say about that one is, and I don't know if this is on us that I think we didn't quite engage with the mechanics of the game in the way that as intended, where you're supposed to use resources from your from our hideout to equip ourselves, and then we go out on the investigation and then we come back. Like, that isn't quite how we played it.
Well, we were starting because we had just gotten an upgrade to our place on top of having the cook, so we were getting there.
Yeah, that's one where if we had played more, we probably would have engaged with that a bit more. But the level we were at,
I think that's I do think that's a really good point, Mike. It comes across much more as like meant to be more monster of the week kind of campaigny. And obviously, since we didn't engage with it much more beyond that, you guys didn't really get to delve into what that looked like, right?
Yeah. That's one I would like to play more of so that we can start getting deeper into how the mechanics of that work and adding that in.
I think that would be cool. I think that's what I meant when I don't really remember it, is I don't remember it as an RPG. Like, I don't remember what made it unique other than the fact that we were supposed to have gone out with our Monster of the Week expedition equipment each time.
I do really remember us really getting annoyed with the rule book.
That's true. There was some stuff that wasn't super well.
It wasn't search friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't laid out in a way that I liked.
And it annoyed me to no end because the books themselves, the physical book,
it's beautiful.
Is so beautiful. Like,
yeah,
the textured cover, and it's got the really nice 2 bookmarks in it, and all of the pages are really texturally beautiful, and the art, and then I'm trying to read through it and use it in game, and I'm like, I fucking hate this thing. I want to throw it out the window.
I got to a point where I had like pages printed out for what I needed that were kind of cut up and put all over the place on my desk to try and keep track of things because I couldn't search in the online PDF. And it was just so much scrolling up and down to get back and forth between things. So I like printed out the sections I needed and cut them up and just had them like displayed around here to keep track of things.
And and that was the biggest thing for me was the rules were never in the place that I thought they were supposed to be. They were split weirdly. Like you would need to like remember something from a chapter before and like 2 chapters after to consider the same thing. It was a pain in the ass. For such a beautiful game, it was indecipherable at times.
It felt more written in the order that they thought of it and not revised to reorganize things in a flow that made sense.
I think that's a good way to describe it,
Yeah, so like everything we needed was in there. It was just so all over the place that it was hard to piece together while we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be fine if you're playing a session where you have time to sit down and read through the book for 10 minutes at a time. But for what we do here...
Or, if you have a Nick...
We do not.
Yeah, or a Nick.
Summarize things for you. So we're lucky enough to have a Nick who will read through painstakingly, read through a rule book and give us a little synopsis of everything we need before we play.
Yeah, except he didn't that time because he wasn't playing.
No. That's the thing. That's what we were missing that time. Yeah. If we would have had Nick for that one, we would have been fine.
Of course. Makes total sense.
You have a lot of faith. Nick, never leave us again.
Yeah, he would have ripped his whole beard out trying to sort through it, but we would have gotten the stuff we need.
Oh, God. All right. Well, yeah, we did 8 sessions of that. You guys figured out the Wendigo thing, which was fun. I enjoyed the way that one ended. We played Ghostbusters for 2 episodes. I mostly did that for Chris, because we all know he's a big fan, and I found all of it online.
Hey, does Chris like Ghostbusters?
No.
Does he volunteer with a Ghostbusters group every weekend?
No.
Nah,
Mike, that was a prior iteration. That was the first Chris that we fired when he missed the last performance review. Yeah.
So then we finished up Mothership, and then we played Mission Impossible the first time.
That was fun.
That was before the last Zine Quest Kickstarter went up, so we could get it for Steven. I mean, what did we say about Mission Impossible? We played an extra 6 sessions of it later because it's so bloody silly and hilarious.
I believe we were playing through every James Bond movie, correct?
We played through all of the Sean Connery James Bond movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. There was no caveat to do the rest of them. I did not have the attention span to do that.
Which was super fun for me because I had no idea what I was getting into because I've not seen them.
There was the homework every week and nobody did it.
Did it a couple weeks.
I felt that I shouldn't watch it beforehand, and it's something I need to watch after, so that I didn't know what to expect.
It's been a year now, Zoe. Have you watched them?
See, and I was enjoying trying to remember the films as we played and being like, which part of the film is this?
There you go. Oh
man. Yeah.
And then something had happened, and I remember that.
Exactly.
Now.
Yep.
Mission Impossible is one of those ridiculous, silly RPGs that is just so much fun to play. It doesn't take itself seriously, and that can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
And
it's also, I think, one of those games that if you were gonna play, you could just pick it up with some friends and start it and just make it up as you go. I think it's
designed to be, because it has 100%. Roll for objective type setup, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could play it as a one-page RPG style game.
to me, it strikes that a very fine balance that I don't think we see in a lot of the one-page RPGs or RPGs in general, where it feels rules light, where it's like, okay, there's, effectively there's three mechanics that you have to kind of keep track of.
Mm.
But it still feels like everything you might want to do or need to do fits in the mechanics in a way that is satisfying. I find one of my, call it a hang up or hesitations with some of the rules light RPGs is at a certain point it feels like very open-ended storytelling without touching the mechanics, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but for me a lot of the fun is the randomness that the mechanics introduce. And it felt like that was still always present in Mission Impossible without feeling arduous. Anyways, I really like
that. That's a fair point.
Clearly, I had a ton of fun. I mean,
because it was a very simple.
I think that's.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, I think Nick's absolutely nailed it because it was very simple. There wasn't a lot to it, but the mechanics did hold us together and tear us apart at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the difference between, I want to say, it being simple versus being kind of, I think unconstrained was the better word that Nick used. Right? Like, you can have, if we've played games before too, even something like Delta Green, where you have a larger amount of mechanics, you have more constraint put on kind of realistically what you can or can't do. And that's also partially because of the environment in which the game typically takes place and the mechanics and whatnot. So to kind of still have that simplicity without it necessarily just feeling incredibly unconstrained is a little bit nicer.
No.
I guess. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. That's what I do.
No, I agree. Speaking of making stuff up, the James Bond adaptations were all excellent as well.
I'm glad you guys remember them fondly.
I had a great time in them.
Because I sit here looking back at them just being like, oh, they could have been so much better. But
I think you did a really good job of making them short enough that we could do each one in a session.
Yeah,
that was
a nice touch. Yeah.
Given what we tried to do to you.
Given who he's dealing with, getting it all to fit in one session is wild, because we always drag everything out for him.
Well, that's what I realized, like, given, like, the first session when I was just like, okay, I have to take Dr. No's entire lair, map it out, plan for them for everything, and then we played for 2 hours, and you guys, like, didn't leave a single room. And I was just like, why am I... Or you moved through 2 rooms. And I was just like, why did I... So then from there on, I was just like, screw it. We get one environment, that's it.
Yeah.
And that worked really well, the one environment, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, because so we did 6 of them. We started with Dr. Nu, which was the island and the rocket that was going to send the trash into space, which nobody wanted. From Russia with Lemons was on the train, which that one was hilarious.
I love that.
Nick killed a guy.
That's when I think of Mission Impossible, I think of hopping on a table, grabbing a guy's knife, and threatening him with it.
As a raccoon.
As a raccoon. And then stabbing somebody.
Because that makes it
he did that later.
So much better when you say it. When you remember that you were a raccoon.
I was a smelly, rabid raccoon.
Yep. Number 3
That's when...
Yeah.
I was just going to say that Mission Impossible is when Nick went full chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the time when you being there somehow made it more stable. As soon as you left, we were nuts.
Yeah. You guys went rabid.
Yes, we did.
It was bad.
When we're all raccoons, that's when I look the most sane.
And then we had we did Gold Cheddar, which was the one in the cheese vaults.
Right.
Which that one was not as intriguing. We did Thunderball. Was that the one where I had you guys on the boat?
I believe that was Diamonds Are Forever. Sorry, Trash Cans Are Forever? I think is what we called it.
No, Trash Cans Are Forever was when you guys were in Japan.
No, that was You Only... Oh, what do we call it? You Only Live Pies?
No. Right. Oh my god. No. Trash Cans Are Forever was you guys on the helipad or on the
yes.
the oil.
Oh, that was different than the boat. Okay, that's why.
Right.
I don't think I was there for boat, but I got there when we were just getting off boat.
Yeah. You Only Live Pies was when you guys were in Japan.
Yeah, Rocket
right?
Base.
Yes, that one was Japan. So it must have been 4, which was Great Balls of Fire, which was Thunderball, which was on the boat. That one I remember being absolutely
the boat
amazing.
was really good.
Yeah, that was good. Did I throw a dude out of the bridge at one point? We were fighting.
Yes. I think that was the time we also had. Was it frying pans? And they were rifles, or was it the other way around? I called it a rifle, but it was a frying pan.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was rifles, and we were just hitting people with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember Mike's raccoon reading things.
Yep. And getting it wrong every time.
And he was just saying things, and it was not what they were, and we just rolled with it. And it's like, well, he wouldn't be wrong.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun.
I need to write those ones down at some point because
that was a lot of fun.
I loved all of those episodes.
So Mission Impossible, solid 10 out of 10.
We jumped to that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We skipped over some other games in between that, though. We played UVG for 2 episodes. That was just Mike, Nick, and I. I wish we
I
went
have
back
mixed
to
feelings
that one.
about that one because it's such a cool world. Like there is so much to see and do, and all of it is just wild. And I that's the point. But despite that, its mechanics feel very light. And we struggled for the first couple sessions with that as a result, if I remember correctly. Well, we only did 2, so I guess for the first one we struggled a bit with the lack of mechanics.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on the mechanics being light?
So, go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, I found it hard, and I think maybe this is, maybe it's because we're switching games or just the approach, but I found it hard to keep like a thread of motivation almost with my character, and even with the caravan, the crew, or whatever. Maybe just going into it saying, the character wants to make as much money as possible is the play, but kind of coming back to my comment about Mothership, it's such a wacky and also rich world that the mechanically optimal thing to do is sometimes not the most interesting story thread to pull on too. Anyways, all of that to say, I think either coming back and playing it very intentionally that way, or honestly like reading it like a story. Like it is so cool.
Well, I think that's what I think we figured out towards the end of session 2. Like that's when it kind of started to click for me.
Yeah.
Was that the game was basically about two things. It's a road trip. So it's literally just experience everything that happens along the way. And all the mechanics of the game are about like rolling to see what happens to you at any given time. And figuring out like, do you have enough supplies to get to where you need to go and then get more? Or what do you do? Right?
Yeah, and it felt... sorry, I finished your thought.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just going to say number 2 was that it's a trading game. So it was all about figuring out what the economy was or how you would make the economy work the way you wanted. So you had some resources, you needed to make money, and it was completely up to you to figure out how you go about getting to there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
What I would say was the way the rule book was written, kind of similar to Vaesen actually, was that it felt like there was a disconnect between like what was in the rule book and what we were experiencing as we started playing. It didn't quite line up is what my feeling was.
I think this might be baggage from other games, but I think I went in with the idea that like the money making is a hook, but something else is gonna something bigger, more important, more enticing is gonna happen, and I was maybe looking for that, but that's not the way to play. And I think when you said the end of the second session, was that when we made it to that castle with the moat or whatever, where we like I went in and got high or something?
Yeah.
Or did Mike go in and one of us went in and got high
or something?
There was that one.
Yeah. When we went into we went
that
to
was
the building,
that, you're right.
Yeah.
The two things you said, Cody, like the road trip, go and experience whatever's there.
Yep.
And then making Mike, because we went in and got high, and then also tried to sell them our stuff in exchange for something more value. Anyways, so
trading.
I think you're right. That was where we kind of.
No. That was the middle part of session 2, I think, which was when it was really starting to click. Because it was the really weird place. There was the giant head in the center that was like zapping people from miles away, and you guys went into this weird house, and then basically were like, nope, we're not dealing with this. And then you ended up near the palace of the porcelain princes or whatever, and we ended with you guys basically getting to this like demarcation line and kind of running back and forth between these two factions, trying to get
a better deal.
Trying to be like, okay, I have this. What will you give me for this? And that's what I mean when I say like that's when it clicked for us, where we were suddenly like, oh, this is what the game is, right? Like figuring out how to experience this world and play these people, and that was basically
Which I guess gave us good practice for when we got to Root.
Yes. So let's dive off that then, because I think that's a very interesting comparison point for Root, and then also to talk about Wildsea. Because when we finished our first session of Wildsea, Nick and Mike, the three of us all looked at each other and went like, this is UVG, but this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the comparison was hella evident pretty much right away. And it felt more complete, I think is probably the word.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So I think then what I want to do with that, and if we spin off that kind of conversation, I want to put it to Zoe then first, because as the person who didn't play UVG, do you think, like, Zoe, do you think there's a comparison between like Root and Wildsea? Feel free to say no, by the way.
I found them very different, but I also found the world that Root is set in is very, like, complicated. I felt I had to fully read absolutely everything that was there to really understand who the different factions were and all of that. Whereas Wildsea, I felt a lot more confident in just jumping into it with not having to research absolutely everything on it to be able to understand the world, because the world would be kind of explained along the way to an extent.
It's a good point that I probably wouldn't have arrived at, but you're right that in Root, the world is built into the mechanics.
Yeah, and I found, like, it felt like I needed to have a bunch of background information to make decisions and do things in Root. Whereas I don't feel that same, like, pressure to kind of understand the entire world before playing in WildSea.
Well, it's also because the faction aspect of Root is much more important. Like, to explain it is integral to the mechanics of the game, because you all had ties to the different factions. You all had reputation to the different factions, and that was something you could play with.
Yeah.
See, no, that's interesting, because for Root, I went the other way, where I went in and I just randomly chose who I would have the what is it, positive reputation versus, I can't even remember the terms now. Like, I just randomly chose in Root.
Yeah.
And then I let more who we played and who we encountered while we played kind of inform more than the background setting, because I didn't really read much about the setting. I read more about the mechanics, and that was it. And I felt that when we jumped in, we kind of got an idea of the factions as we played, at least the ones that we were encountering.
I don't know if it's just the way that the material was, like, presented in Root, but they had a lot of, like, information about who each faction was and all this information, so I felt like I needed to know that to be able to play the game.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely fair.
But I also, like, I went building my character off of that, whereas in WildSea, I used, like, the app to build my character, so it only gave me the information I needed to be able to make a decision. So that might be the differentiating factor for me, because if I went through the whole rulebook for WildSea, my experience might have been different.
There's an app for WildSea?
I don't think your experience with WildSea would have been different having gone through the rulebook, Zoe, to be honest, because again, I think this central tenet that is mainly different is, and it's because Root's based off of a war game, right? Like a board game, where the factions are integral and central to the way that the game works. So bringing that over into the RPG kind of makes sense. And the fact that they were able to add mechanics to that to keep that kind of awareness and force that kind of political drive is a little bit more interesting. WildSea doesn't have that, as far as I can tell, because it's much more, like, open-ended, much more kind of free for people to do whatever they want with. So there's no, like, I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't fully read the WildSea rulebook yet. Straight up, I know. There's no factions in there, as far as I can tell. Yeah, like, there's hints to some different groups, but there's nothing outlining, like, political strategy on the WildSea.
Yeah, see, and that's sometimes the political strategy can be fun, but what I liked about it, and I'm gonna reference one that we haven't played here for a minute, but Root kind of to me felt like a watered down maybe not watered down, but it was more of a unique RPG as compared to, say, Blades in the Dark, where it's all about the different factions and groups and power.
Right.
Whereas with Root,
but does Blades in the Dark
they have that
build those out for you?
Sorry?
Does Blades in the Dark build the factions out for you, or does it just give you a framework and say, your faction's here, and these are the mechanics that apply. Because what Root, I haven't played Blades in the Dark actually.
It's been many years since I played, but from what I remember, there are a bunch of factions that are like made, and then you start off as a nothing faction, and it's all about how you interact with the others, and you can gain reputation and harm your reputation based on your. But if I remember correctly, it's more about how you interact with, like the whole gameplay is about interacting with the other factions, as opposed to Root, where it is an RPG in the classical sense. Just as part of that, you have political powers going on, which can be fun, and I often enjoy at times. As we saw when we played Root, where I was playing the three factions off each other, and I think we gained positive reputation with two of the three, and the only reason we failed with the third was because someone got caught.
Someone burned the whole camp.
Oh, that's right.
I think.
In Zoe's defense, she wasn't there for that.
Yeah, that's why it happens.
You know that it's what my character would have done. Well, it's what her character.
That's true. Absolutely.
Oh, that is a good argument. Like the fact that you just randomly chose your factions, and you were still, I think, like you played the most active character.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah.
So it's not a hinder. It's not like we had to or we benefited from being heavy-handed with our character creation there.
Yeah. I think I was left confident in making decisions about things because I was so worried about the faction part of it and being like, I have to like make sure that I play like my character right to not like upset this faction or like help one that I'm not meant to be good with and things like. And I think I was so caught up on that I just followed whatever like Mike was doing to be like, okay, he's ready to make a choice. I'm just gonna roll with that and let him do it because I'm too stressed about it to make a decision.
Yeah. I'd be curious too with Root. There was an advancement path, right? Like you could level up in there. I feel like part of I'd be curious how it plays at higher levels. Both between having more extreme relationships with some of the factions, one way or the other, and also having more superhero capabilities, basically, to handle things. I'd be curious about it.
Yep.
I think it'd be really cool.
But I do get, Cody, where you were going with your leading question originally about the relationship between the two. Because it is also, like, from a world perspective, it's isolated pockets of civilization in this immensely dangerous sea that is. But I don't know, I feel like the game master force in Root is the politics, but the force that you can exert in Wildsea is like natural, supernatural.
Yeah. Where the whimsy takes you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I drew the equivalence between the three games because, like, it's kind of the split in those two parts of UVG that we talked about, right? The road trip part versus the economy part. The economy part is maybe a little bit closer to Root in that political aspect, right? Yeah. But the road trip part is definitely much closer to Wildsea, right?
Yeah.
And the kind of, trying to just gather information, find something to do. And even now that we played the second session of Wildsea, or the third session of Wildsea, when we're actually like out in the water and, running encounters. But I think the flip is that I think Wildsea has a little bit more of what it sounds like you were looking for with that, Nick, in that, like, with UVG, you're not trying to get to a place because the place is where the story is going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the story is getting there, the experiences.
Yeah. It's about the adventure.
The things that are there, right? Whereas with Wildsea, it's much more traditional. It's more like, it's more like traveling in D&D. Like, you can make traveling fun if you're just hanging out and putting weird encounters in. Or you can skip it, because all anybody really cares about at the end of the day, kind of, is getting to the place to do the thing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you say it's what I'm looking for, I mean, if we're getting into WildSea, I will preface it by saying it's like, I don't know, we've only played a few times, but it's in the sweet spot in terms of RPG for me.
Yeah.
I think I've made that pretty evident.
See, it's interesting because just to get off of Root and onto WildSea, I will say, interestingly, I think Root really hits the spot for me, because I was loving that political intrigue. I was really vibing with it, and then the RPG elements, the more classical elements, were pretty, like, they were simple, not overly simple, but simple enough that it felt like you didn't have to focus on them and have a deep understanding of them. You could just go and play around and do more political faction things if you wanted. So I think that one really scratched the itch for me, interestingly.
I think that's fair. And I mean, WildSea, our last session really, I saw some, maybe not some cracks starting to form, but I was noticing some, that I was running up against kind of some of my own expectations for, I think, what I was hoping for a little bit more. Because I do kind of think where I'm running now is, as we're getting into more complicated aspects of the game, like dealing with combat and stuff, I'm feeling like it might be a little bit too freeform for me in the way that I typically like to run and how I like to deal. I might just need to make myself a little bit more comfortable with it.
I can see
add a little extra structure.
Or just watch some more videos, read it a little bit more so that I can get more comfortable with what the system is trying to do, because on first blush it seems incredibly archaic. Because it seems very unstructured. Yeah. And I'm missing a lot of information that my brain seems to think it needs. And I don't know why, other than, to Nick's point before, bringing baggage from other stuff. And that just makes me feel a little bit out of control, which once I start feeling that, I'm just worried that I'm like gonna ruin it for you guys. Like, it's not gonna feel like the game is kind of supposed to, or it's not gonna be as fun as it kind of should be. But I want to see where that goes, and we're gonna do combat again next time anyway. So I need to get myself ready to do that. Yeah, I still really like WildSea. I want to keep seeing where it goes. It's really cool. It's a really cool world.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one, because that's the case for both UVG and WildSea. Is it's that less concrete, more freeform rule set, that we're not used to with the games that we play, where we're used to having very concrete, very discrete. It's the enemy's turn, and then it's our turn. I roll this die to make an attack, and it does 1d6 damage.
Yeah.
Whereas that is not at all how either of those games worked.
No, and it is about figuring out like what it's kind of supposed to be then. Yeah. Right. Because I know it's the difference between my expectation of what I'm looking for versus what it's trying to present to me. We also have a question in chat from Brett, Mr. Birdmilk. My mouse is hovering over the Root RPG Deluxe box. I have never played PBTA. Should I buy right now? My answer is yes. Because also, I know that you have younger kids, and I think Root is going to be something that they're really going to like, because they'll probably get drawn in on the art. It's not very difficult.
The art is beautiful.
You can, like... It's one that you could probably, with very little work, tweak to let younger people into it early. and B, no, there's no diversion. We were talking about Root anyway. Don't worry about it.
On topic. It's all good.
It's fine. Although speaking of, I don't know if anybody saw the news, but Leader Games is kind of splitting slightly. So Cole Worley and Kyle Farron are starting their own board game company. Yes. I congratulated Kyle yesterday because he's a very cool person.
Yeah.
Heard Mike was moving on from Root. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like he doesn't want to.
Yeah. I was going to say, so with those 3 games, did anybody have any other final thoughts, or do you want to move on to some of our other stuff?
I'm excited for more Wildsea. I'm very much looking forward to exploring that one some more. So, big weight on your shoulders, Cody. You're welcome.
Oh, good. Thanks. So moving on from there, a couple other big things that we've touched on. We played a lot of Hostile Work Environment. Nick has gotten
that was fun.
Ample amounts of time out of the one-page RPG.
Yeah, I really milked it.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's one that, I even got to play in, which felt a little bit different. I'm not used to not running it.
Sitting in the player chair.
Yep. I thought it was really neat. Again, I'm really impressed how much you've pulled out of something so simple. That was all I had for them.
I had
fun running
it. Yeah.
I think you nailed it. It is such a tiny little one-page RPG, and Nick pulled so much out of it. It was a ton of fun. We had a grand old time. I'm glad I got the chance to play twice, because the first time I think my one drawback the first time we played was that I made my character not believe what was happening. And so the whole time we've got people trying to kill him, and he's like, no, it's just a Friday. This seems a little odd, but it's just a Friday, so I must just be tired from the week.
I really don't want to work wherever Mike works.
God. If ever there's a real hostile takeover at Mike's office space, he's doomed.
Yeah, yep. It'd be like the opposite of a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe what I'm seeing happen because it's too out there.
So it must not be real.
Just constantly not worried.
Just lives in denial.
It's a fun little game. I think once we all, there's not many mechanics, but once we all kind of got on board with the, you have to kind of undermine each other to get advantages, but then you use the advantages to help each other. That's kind of a cool mechanic, but I think it's a good framework for a really tense kind of game, but also silly, tense but then silly.
It does ride that line really well, doesn't it?
Yeah. We played a lot of the Grant Howitt one-page RPGs over this time. We also did Nice Marines, and we did knockoff mascots, which was absolutely insane. I went back and listened to the knockoff mascots one not too long ago, and that was Chris and Mike, and just oh god.
That's the one with tire slashing, right?
Yeah, they were
not built into the mechanics. They just got chaotic.
Pretty much. Did you play Captain Swan Hands? No, we didn't play Captain Swan Hands. I think we played. Oh god, if I go back, we played Bird Crimes before, which is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, the strength of those, or at least our experience with those one-page RPGs, is that they're as much fun as we make them silly. What really worked well for Bird Crimes was when it was just ridiculous, off the rails nonsense.
Yes.
And I mean that was our experience with Nice Marines too. Was Zoe and I zeroed in on we're gonna have a military parade and it's gonna be awesome
for everything.
For everything. And that was just so much fun.
Parades solve all our problems.
Oh no, we killed a bunch of people. Quick parade.
Well, a parade.
Well, I think we had a parade off, didn't we? Where we were
That's
like,
right.
You do a parade, we'll do a parade, and whoever's parade is better wins.
Like we deserve to rule.
We were also the judges
than them, and we're like, well, put on a parade and show us that, because clearly whoever's better will have a better parade.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Honestly, we should solve more problems that way.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
you should have 2 competing parades at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it'll all work out.
And then of course, I feel like it's been a while since we did the knockoff mascots, but I think it was the same. Was Chris and I just went nuts with it, and so it was a ton of fun.
Yeah. You tried to shoot the guy. You tried to push him into a pool. You tried to drop a piano on him. None of those worked.
Hence the fun.
I can't remember how you ended up killing him, but
did he have an allergic reaction to something?
That might have been it.
I feel like that would have been a fun way to. Anyway,
I can't remember.
I'll have to say those are a ton of fun if you just go nuts.
Yeah. I want to talk about 2 of the other ones in between that we kind of skipped over, though, which were Unburied and Forsaken. So those were 2 other ones that we got reached out by the creators to run. Unburied being the kind of zombie ish story game, I guess, and then Forsaken being about the whole the ones who walk away from Omelas, the children versus adults kind of piece.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish we'd gone back to both of them, but Forsaken probably more, because I feel like we didn't really touch on the whole aspect of like zooming into the dream world to solve your problems.
Yeah.
Using the more using the actual powers that you guys had kind of had. We just played one session and got through kind of even just the intro. And a little bit of the world exploration.
There's a lot of meat there. Like I think that's a game that would take a bit of time to, but it felt like you could feel at least for me, I felt like I could feel the, I don't know, emotional intent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I could feel what I was meant to feel, I think, playing that game. Like, it was very kind of raw. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was well done.
My only thought on that one was that I got the impression that it's a lot of work on the game master's part, because you need to have 2 worlds ready, and if things don't work in the one, the whole idea is that you switch to the other to solve the problem. And I just think that takes a lot of prep on your part. Having said, I think it is a really cool idea, and I would love to try it out some more. But I think to really, really fully appreciate it would take some planning and designing ahead of time.
Yeah, I did feel like I struggled a little bit with that in having things for you guys to do. Because, I mean, it is a very heavy setting, which we talked about. And that leads to having it feel more emotional too. You do really feel the intent of the thing as you're reading it and preparing it and then playing it. But then at the same time, you're also kind of, I don't know if I could have us do like a super serious RPG for 2 hours straight, I think I would probably explode. I need that little bit of levity and stuff, but then it's also difficult to figure out what that looks like, given the setting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's very true. Because we played even when we played Lichcraft there, right? Like we ran into the zombie of Rob Ford. And in that case, it was a really good juxtaposition of kind of the theme versus the silliness we got into versus the end, which worked really well.
Lichcraft, and Kyle, please forgive me if I screw this up because I can't remember if the rules had this or not. The one thing that stood out with me with Lichcraft was it was a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. Like, it established a very serious setting, but then the events that it kind of prescribed or gave you as potential random events within it were very tongue-in-cheek.
That's fair.
Like, so...
I mean, even the goal itself is you need to become a lich so you can get your
healthcare.
Yeah, so you can so that you can survive long enough to on the wait list for healthcare. Like that's very tongue-in-cheek as just that alone.
But the thing that I will always remember is that the one of the final events that you can roll is you fight the completely ambiguous author of your the author of your old childhood favorite book series of who suddenly turned out to become a trans bigot. There you go. It does not hide it whatsoever.
Okay,
it's
I
great.
See
you get stuff like that, and the fact that it what the setting you could have is like the pyramid at what's the freaking music
Glastonbury?
Festival? Glastonbury, right? Like stuff like that. You're just like, what?
They had the levity built.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess that one was really just on brand for us.
Yeah. It feels different when you have like a topic like that and the levity's built into the game than having like a very serious game and trying to put levity in it yourself, because it feels almost disrespectful in a way to do it when it's not intended to be there.
Yeah. Or not being sure if it's intended to
That's the thing, yeah.
Right. Either way, I liked both of them. And like I do want to see more. Like I think I would want to play with Forsaken more just to see how it how we fit within it, how we would do that, right? Unburied was kind of fun and we just had a wacky time with weird zombies.
I thought Unburied was really good. And I think just kind of going back to the UVG and Wildsea one, I think we might have suffered a little bit from our expectations from previous RPGs. I think as a result, we didn't quite focus as much on the Unburied mechanics as we could have. And so we missed out a bit on that.
We swapped through these things so quickly.
And absolutely, it's hard to
impossible not to carry the baggage.
No, absolutely true. Absolutely fair. All that to say, it would be cool to do Unburied again as well.
Yeah. Okay, we had two more that we've gone over since the last meeting, being Paranoia, which we finally got to go back to again.
Love Paranoia.
This one was different, though. I picked a very weird, very messed up module for you guys.
Yeah. We were throwing people into a vat, if I'm remembering correctly.
I will accept the blame for that. I don't think it was as much of a we as a me.
Yeah.
See this?
But someone did make me
angry.
I think that was my characteristic flip. So
yes, of course.
And I tried to start a revolt against Mike's character. I believe I got murdered because I believe I got thrown into the vat as well.
You did.
I wasn't in charge.
Yeah.
Can't lead a revolt against someone who's
at
not
that
in
point
charge.
I might have just been blindly throwing people into the vat. I don't really remember.
Yeah, because you needed to boost production. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
I'm not sure how you did it this time, Cody, but you really had us, like, the paranoia was there.
Yeah.
We were definitely working against each other as much as we were working with each other. At least my character was. I felt like we were.
Oh yeah.
See, I felt like we were working against the bosses, and the revelation at the end that it didn't matter what we did, we were just going to fudge the reports was
So that's what's really funny. And to Mike's point, the way that I did it was twofold, because I realized, I think it was after the first session or the second session, that you guys were working too closely together, and I didn't like that. So that's when I introduced the what was it, the like favorite worker badge or whatever that Nick suddenly got.
Yeah.
Yep. I threw that in there just to see how much chaos that could create.
I was promised that badge.
I know. And then the second thing was that, so this module is just inherently, it's really funny, but also really shitty, because it's based off of the Chinese Great Leap Forward, and so literally there's no way you could actually succeed.
Right.
So it's literally just seeing how you deal with realizing that you're going to fail and you need to figure out how to make it look good. Right?
I guess that's what it was for me, because as soon as I realized we were failing, like, I was working to make sure that it didn't stick to me. I was like setting it up to make it look like Nick was sabotaging it and Chris was sabotaging it.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, my character would be like, hey, I was just following his orders. He has the badge. He's in charge.
Yeah.
Oh no, Mike, they lost your audio.
Lost my... Uh-oh.
Is it back?
It shows we can't hear Mike.
Can you guys hear Mike?
I think it's back.
Can hear everyone else. Can't hear Mike.
We can now.
Oh, you can hear him now. Okay, good.
That was weird.
Good. Sorry. Whew.
He probably wasn't saying anything.
Nah, it wasn't important.
It's fine.
It's fine. We can move on. Definitely not about stabbing everyone.
No, Brett, we didn't kill the sparrows. We didn't have to kill the sparrows. Yeah, so I don't know. It was a different one. It was fun to watch you guys try and figure out how to deal with it. This was an older paranoia module. I did think, and we talked about this a little bit afterwards, if we went back and maybe the next time we play paranoia, we're going to try and use an older rule set. Probably Paranoia XP, because I'm just I don't love the red box. I don't love dealing with the cards and trying to remember.
Yeah, stuff.
It's a neat idea.
The cards is a lot.
So we'd probably end up trying to do that unless somebody convinces me that the new rule set from 2022 or 2023 is better. We're gonna try and use an older one.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe this is from because it was so long between games, but when we first played we had a bigger crew. Like, and I feel like the infighting develops well when you got more people, stepping in. I don't know. Especially since we had a few weeks where we missed Chris and we missed you, Zoe, off and on, I think. And I don't know.
That's true.
We need the extra insanity or something.
But it also definitely,
Yeah.
like, I think in general we have the RPG, you are a party mentality, where you need to work together to succeed together. And I think, like, that not being there certainly helped with this particular module. But I seem to recall in the old ones, we succeeded as a party. So the infighting was more like I did something silly that upset Zoe, so she killed me, and then I killed her back. Like it was less paranoia so much as anger.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
We were seeking vengeance a lot the first time around when we played. Because you were very disrespectful.
Yes, because I didn't respect the scrub bot enough. See, the anger still exists on that one.
You let that scrub bot die.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the thing, right? Like, I don't know how you break that, and you need to run into a situation almost similar to what we were talking about with the alien, where you need like the end. You need like the end goal to be singular.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to set up a problem such that like it takes the entire party to resolve it to get to the end. So like if you don't make it there, nobody gets to win. But if you make it there, whoever does, I don't know, the best is the one who's going to get the glory. And so it becomes more an instance of like cooperating to a point and then being willing to gang up on each other to get a leg up right at the end.
Having that ulterior motive, but knowing that you still need to make it to a certain point.
I feel like that's more of what like a perfect paranoia module would look like. That's true.
And I recognize that's hard to do in an RPG. There are a lot of board games that do that really well.
Well, and that's why I mentioned Nick's piece with Alien, because like you needed to leave. He needed you guys to get off the ship, but it meant at the end needing this final piece to meet his objective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's hard to put together. But I like it
last
when
one
it works.
that we can talk about. You liked when it worked?
Well, I thought that was a great round of paranoia. Had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the end of it. It was going to keep going. You guys were going to sink deeper.
Excellent. What could go wrong? We still had clones left.
Yeah. So we played Blightfall. That was the last one. We talked about WildSea already. So Blightfall was the last thing we played up till now, which is really cool. Again, thank you, Matt. I know you're here in chat right now. We really liked that one.
Yep. That's definitely on the return to list. I mean, I think I said all this stuff before. I love the the cooperative world generation at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's really cool. The trade-off between, the risk reward of increasing your ranks. It's also, I think it's also one that's like in a sweet spot for me in terms of the combination of the world and the mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love, and they are so well done, the risk reward mechanics, where like you build power, you get the damage multipliers, the more you lose your humanity. It's really well put together.
And it feels good to do that. It feels very good to run too.
Okay, because it's one where you do feel rewarded as you succumb to the light, which I think is the entire point.
Which is what you want.
So it's just really well designed in that respect. I very much look forward to backing it in 19 days, I'm told.
19 days. 19 days. Okay. Well, we've gone through all of it. I think then the thing that I would want to ask each of you then is out of the games we've talked about or whatnot, which one I don't know if I want to say it as which one's your favorite, but like which one do you look back on most fondly? And we'll go with Zoe first.
Me first?
Yeah, I'm making you go first.
Oh my god. I think I'll always look back on Delta Green most fondly. Just because that's kind of where I started with playing with you guys. And I just, something about going in, investigating the paranormal stuff, and trying to piece together the puzzle of what's going on, but also having, like, the time limit of the world progressing around us and other things and things happening, and I like it.
Good. I'm glad. Okay, Nick, you go next.
That's tough. I mean, I've definitely highlighted some ones that kind of suit me really well, but honestly, like if I think about when I think about us playing and you know the fun we have and everything, I think Mission Impossible is like, I don't know, that's the one that comes to mind when I think about it.
It's the one you let wild the most in.
But I mean, we play some really great stuff. I have a lot of fun with all of them. But yeah, that's the prototypical, like, hey, I'm sitting down with the crew, with the Corptocracy, and I'm gonna have a good time. Mission Impossible is what comes to mind.
Interesting.
We're gonna play a bunch of rabid raccoons. Yeah.
That's
okay, Mike.
Fun. So, I would say, without trying to rehash our entire discussion about Paranoia a second ago, but if we could recreate that vibe of Paranoia, I think that one would stand at the top. But I would go with Mothership personally. I think Mothership is the one that does it for me. You got the space horror, the very real chance that your character is going to die at any time, and then you have that investigation aspect too, to a point that you get with Delta Green, although not as much obviously. But yeah, definitely I would say the Mothership.
Cody? What about you, Cody?
Okay. Well, I don't want to.
You're not escaping this. You did it to us. We're doing it to you.
Well, okay. As we've been reviewing, I think, to be honest, I think the one that I look back on most fondly is probably Vaesen, and I'm much more biased because I'm really proud of how that kind of turned out. Even though we got annoyed with the way the rules are laid out at times and everything, I put a lot of work into trying to create an interesting mystery, an interesting story. And I'm happy that it sort of worked. So yeah, I think that's the one for me. I was gonna then try and spin that off and go, okay, now that we've played all these other things, like, what's your favorite RPG now? Because I think last I counted, we've played this will be 15. No, 16 with WildSea.
Yeah, something like that. It's a lot.
So you say it's a lot, and yet I still have a folder of like 43.
I know, we have so many to get through. But at the same time, there's like a list of ones that are like, oh, we gotta play these again.
Yeah. I know, and that's the problem.
We're in a golden age of TTRPGs.
Yes.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, we've got so many options.
So, I don't know if you guys answered that question already with what I was saying there, or if you want to go. I would say, like, I've loved all these games we've played, but I still think my favorite TTRPG ever is Delta Green, without question. The setting fits me perfectly. It hits my humor perfectly. I feel really good running that game. I love every single module I've ever read of that game that I've run. It's just nothing else hits the way that Delta Green does for me. And then we'll go backwards. So, Mike, you got to go next.
I was also leaning towards Delta Green, so let me take a quick moment to see if I can think of another.
If Delta Green's your favorite, say Delta Green's your favorite.
Yeah, it could be that we've played
cheating.
so much Delta Green, but Delta Green is probably my favorite that we've played so far. Because we never have a bad experience with that one.
No. Nick?
I mean, I know it's early days, but I've been upfront from the first time we played. Wild Sea speaks like the world. So far I like the way the mechanics play out. We'll see, maybe in a few weeks. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I could dream of it.
Okay, Zoe.
This is tough.
Do you have top two?
While Zoe thinks, if anybody wants to submit questions in chat, please do.
What's everybody's favorite to watch?
Actually, yeah, that's a really good question.
This is when we learned that none of them have watched any of our
games
stuff.
we haven't played.
Yeah.
Are there other games we should be playing?
No, we're gonna add to Cody's list. Is that what we really need?
There's
or narrow his list down because he's
it?
probably got these ones on the list already, so we can bump them up.
Yeah, no, it's only like 27 games we need to get through.
Yeah. I feel like my favorite to play would probably be Vaesen, because that was really fun for me. And I don't know if it's probably less about the mechanics, more about the story that you built with it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it feels maybe not right to call that one my favorite because it's more what you did with it than the game itself. But I'm still going to do it anyway.
I think that's a good moment to just give a shout out to Cody as an excellent writer and game master.
No.
Because
don't do that. I can't accept that compliment.
Definitely one of
Everybody give Cody compliments right now.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do it. Give him compliments.
One of my favorite stories that we have played through over the past period is the Wendigo. So I just want to second Zoe's sentiments there.
And I mean, I wouldn't have picked Mission Impossible as my favorite to play if we hadn't played all those excellent 007 adaptations. So,
well,
and also, how do you run 15 different games in 2 years? Like, that's a lot of work.
I was going to say, I think we need to give Cody some extra love because every week he shows up and runs a game for us.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I count the ones we talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10? 10 in the past year?
Yeah.
I think we'd only played like 4 or 5 prior to that, so.
Well, prior to that, the ones that aren't on the list that we had played before, we had like DCC, we played MCC, we played Alien, we played Deadlands, Lichcraft.
Deadlands was good.
Deadlands was cool.
Yeah, but that was really it. So it was 5 on top of that, I guess.
Just take the compliment, man.
Fine.
Don't worry, they're still coming in the chat.
Somebody's recommending Urban Shadows. I believe I've heard of that one before. I need to look into stuff. I like different stuff. Okay. Well, now that I've been completely overwhelmed with compliments, I don't know what to do now.
We lost him. He's short-circuiting.
Well, we gave you our favorite story moments, Cody. Well, I did, which was the one to go. Do you have a favorite, just memorable time in the last couple of years that we stood out for you, maybe? Or that you enjoyed running for us?
I mean, I love all of it. Some of it's been easier than others. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I will highlight some of the ones that I think have stood out the most, have mattered the most for me. And we've already talked about them, so I won't take like a ton of time doing it. So again, piggybacking off Delta Green being my favorite, the very first thing we streamed was when we played Delta Green Last Days Last, which
very good module.
That time we played that was phenomenal. That's one of my favorite modules. I will run it for anybody at any point in time because it's so well structured, and you guys played it spectacularly. We had the wet bread lady, which will always live in the back of my head.
A very funny reference to a very terrifying thing that happened.
3 years later, and the wet bread lady still brings up that response from everybody. So there's that. There's Lichcraft. Lichcraft was fantastic. I think that was the first time we played something we streamed and we actually felt like really connected and serious about something, while at the same time still being able to have fun, and understand something that was really different from the experience that we all live day to day, right? Oh God. Vason, obviously I'd already talked about that one. That meant a lot to me. The Mission Impossible stuff, I love that you guys had fun with that. That was also great. I don't know, I just love having fun. Every time we have a week where we get to the end of a 2-hour session and we just all look at each other because we've been laughing for like 2 hours, it's been the best. That's what I love.
Keeps them coming back.
Most. Yeah. Even when it's something more complicated, like even at the end of the Wild Sea one last week where combat was going a little bit weird, we still had enough fun that like I still love doing it. I don't want to throw the game out, right? I don't want to throw the stream out because it was a little bit hard.
Man, the first monster we encountered was the stiletto wolf. We can't throw it out. What's the next monster gonna be?
The stiletto limbs.
Stiletto limbs.
Tune in next week to see how that resolves.
No, you just keep. No, we're not playing. We're not playing Wild Sea next week.
Oh, that's true.
We're playing Space Aces for Steven from T-Rex Games because we gotta help him get that going. Okay. I feel like what. I don't know where to go now. I'm tired and very overwhelmed. So
well, we can say we have played a lot of RPGs in the last 2 years. Obviously, we're going to keep going starting next week.
I can't believe it's been 10 in the last 2 years.
Burning through them.
That's a lot. That's so much.
Yep. I think we're very lucky that we get
not that many compared to what ones we still have to do.
To try, yeah, that's right.
Yep, I know. But knowing us, we're going to end up playing Wild Sea for the whole year, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, threaten me with a good time, man.
It's still a success either way.
50 episodes of the Wild Sea. I'm
in.
Oh God. Okay. Well, okay. Do any of you guys have any final thoughts or comments you want to make before we sign off?
Looking forward to playing again next week.
I was going to say something about here's to another 2 years.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yep. We hit year 3 in April, and let's keep it going. So, all right. Like I said, we're going to be back next week. We're going to play Space Aces. Steven, TRX Games has a new box set coming out in February. So we're going to be checking that out for him. And then we'll be back to WildSea the week after that. And then I got to plan what we're going to play after WildSea if we ever stop playing WildSea. But yeah, until next week, you can find us at Corporate Crash Course on YouTube and Twitch. We're CCCRPGs on Instagram and Twitter. See you next week. Same crab time, same crab place. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.